Hi, I'm Steve from Nearly Wild, and today I'm here with a friend, Prem. Prem, we're actually sitting here in Nepal. Well, I'm really lucky actually, because I thought we were going to be doing this interview on the Zoom call, so I'm very pleased that we're doing it here. Anyway, we're very near your home village. Be interested, maybe just for the people watching, if you could tell us a little bit about the work that you've been involved in, because I know you've got quite a long experience of being involved in working with the natural world and sustainability.
Thank you, Steve. This is Prem. This is my hometown. I'm a farmer's son. I did farming during my education till bachelor degree. I did my bachelor degree from Rampur Institute of Agriculture and Animal Science, Rampur, which is located nearby. And after that, I joined some of the international organization, and before that, I worked with the government as an assistant agriculture development officer. And during that, what I had to do is I have to teach the farmers who have been working on farming since long time. Although I was young, I have to teach them.
Right.
Which was really strike me. It's not the right way.
Right.
We have to learn from farm. We have to learn from nature. We have to learn from our traditional. So I did some work with the government. It was really exciting, and I'm really pleased with the government. I got that opportunity. By that time, we also started discussion among us. Who have a similar kind of thinking or thoughts.
Yes.
Then we started some kind of alternative agriculture promotion, as well as some linking this scientific and natural and the social systems. So now I'm working with permaculture. We call it Nepal Permaculture Group as a chairperson, and I'm also running a consulting organization. We call it Resource and Change Management Consulting. It is a kind of organization founded by a group of people, and we are promoting organic agriculture, environmental education, organic agriculture, as well as providing support on monitoring, evaluation, strategic planning for the clients.
Right.
As well as have a small farm, and we are trying to establish a kind of demonstration farm in Chiton.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot.
Yeah, that's really.
And we actually know each other from when you were working for a period of time with Practical Action.
Yes.
And I was lucky enough to come and work with you, which was great fun. And I think we had a lot of things in common that we shared and we've discussed over the years together when we've been able to meet up or through our little messages.
Yeah.
But I know that you're one of the people I know that's actually, you studied permaculture in Australia, didn't you? Which is the home of the kind of concept of permaculture.
Yes. Actually, we form a kind of group of people who have a similar kind of thoughts to work on the sustainable way. And I got training on permaculture design course. It is a kind of intensive course, 72 hours intensive course. And it has both conceptual, theoretical, and more practical. And few days in the classroom, and then go to the farm and design based on the local context, needs, and also propagate the new ideas, innovation with different principles of permaculture, which is really sustainable, and it is about the building the self-reliant system that is viable for the from the economical perspectives, social and environmental perspectives, and during that time, I also had a connection with the Permaculture Institute in Australia, and who had a kind of 3 years program, on the field program. We have to teach learn from theoretical perspective from Bill Mollison and some other colleagues or the professors, then apply in the field and prepare report and send them photos and all those things. Based on that, they granted me a diploma on permaculture.
I see. Right.
So that was, I mean, it is a kind of virtual learning, but I visited them, but basically we walk in the field and we prepare report, we had a discussion and learning each other. Based on that, I got that education.
Right. So it's interesting that after quite a few years now that you've still stuck very much with permaculture as part of the process, and you've set up this, you've been involved in setting up this network. Do you think, because it's interesting when you're talking about the work that you do with the network, it's you talk about permaculture but also environmental agriculture and other aspects. Why have you chosen to broaden it and not just have permaculture? Why is it a number of things?
Actually, you see, it is basically based on our local context.
Right.
You see, Nepal, we used to say is agriculture-based country.
Yes.
And we have all the things, including culture, is based on the agriculture. And but the system, I mean, as per our geographic condition, we have different terrains. And even if you travel 5 minutes, then you have another ecosystem.
Yes, I've learned that.
So we have thousands, millions ecosystem. And thinking about the one or two model doesn't fit.
Right.
That's the main part. So, and the permaculture, I mean, basically the permaculture principle is learn from the society and the respective ecosystem.
Yes.
And work with them.
Yes.
Work through them.
Yes.
And then establish the system that is sustainable.
Yeah.
So we all work on that and linking with the different other sectors. I mean, based on the local context. But ultimately, I mean, we also think about the viable in terms of economics, in terms of the environment of respective household as well as the community.
Right. So it's really interesting. So you've got really what you talk about there is combining sustainability, but on the basis of it being based on nature and human cultures. And really embedded it in the local context. So something quite particular that I've been wondering about, because I know we're not going to have time to learn all about the things Prem's done, believe you me, there's a lot of it. But one of the things that really interests me, Prem, is this, how we get to a point where farmers are learning from one another. And I know within your organisation you've got members and then you have farmer members, is that right?
Yes.
So can you give me a feel of what the difference is between those?
Actually, you see, I mean, linking with my past views, you see, once we started to work with the government and the farmers, and then we got a permaculture design course and network with the international friends and got some insights. Then we thought that we have to motivate policy people.
Right.
And you see, it was really strange during that period. Policy people, they do not like to heard about the listen about the organic or permaculture. Although our Nepalese agriculture traditionally by default is organic, and we have a system based.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Which is destroyed because introducing green revolution approach and all those things.
Yeah.
So And once we organize in an informal way,
Yes.
and we try to convince, motivate, provide training and discussion with the policy people and the farmers. But we got some kind of problem from the legal perspective. Without registering into the government system, we cannot, advocate, we cannot work.
Right.
So, because of that, we registered our group as a Nepal Permaculture Group.
Yes.
In Chittagong district
Right.
administrative office. Then we try to, we also promoted by providing training to the farmers as
Yes.
well as the activists,
Right.
also the professionals.
Right.
So
Okay. Yeah.
we try to promote that way, and at the same time we also develop a kind of working relation learning platform with the farmers.
Right.
So that we can feed those learning into our thinking and the practice. So the permaculture group, Nepal Permaculture Group, is basically has specific criteria to be a member. That is permaculture design course. Once the individual got permaculture design course, then he or she is eligible to get membership.
I see.
And we have also institutional member. So now we have more than 1100 members.
Gosh. Right.
Who have got permaculture design course from Nepal Permaculture Group.
1100 PDC
plus, yeah, PDC.
Wow.
Both nationally and international members.
Right.
By Nepal Permaculture Group and some other organization like Inshan, Eco Center, Ashera, and others. Yeah.
Right.
So we organize in that way, and we also, as a agriculturist, I also have some kind of friends in the working in the government.
Yes.
And other organization. We also try to provide training and discussion formally, informally. Based on that, and we also had a relation with the secretary for Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock during that period, and we also convinced him and them. Then slowly. Nowadays, government is also talking about the organic system, organic guidelines, all those things.
Right.
So,
right.
By doing so, we have a PDC holders,
Yes.
who is the core team of NPG member. I'm a core member of NPG team. We have also institutional member. We have now 17 institutional member who are formally, informally working on permaculture.
Right. Right.
And at least they should have one PDC holder in that organization.
Yeah.
So in that case, institution is eligible to be a member of NPG.
Right.
So we have those kind of core members, and at the same time, we are here for farmers.
Yes.
We are here for agriculture, building agriculture system or our social system more sustainable.
Yeah.
So we are also working with the farmers. So we have also informal way of working with them, and also formal way. So they are also the part of the team.
Right.
So that's a way.
Wow. So that's quite a sophisticated model that you've developed.
Yeah.
And the way you describe it, I suppose you've got reach in at all the different levels, from the policy to the farmer and the practical of the farming through to the decision making. So, I know that you also do a lot of advisory work on the kind of sustainable agriculture and natural resource systems in your work. So, do you think that there's an opportunity for this sort of thing to be happening in other countries? Is it a model that you've seen elsewhere or heard of in other countries, to have this kind of network that works all the way through the system?
Actually, that's one of the constraints that I see. And although we have kind of similar kind of networks with the other friends, the other friends in the other country, but it is not so strong.
Right.
And although we have we have a international level network, we call it international permaculture convergence. We
Yes.
organize IPC and some convergence within two years of time. I mean, this year is also planning in, I think in March or something like that.
Yeah.
But,
Yes. Yeah.
So in Zambia or somewhere.
Yes, I seem to remember. I do need to check. Yeah.
So we do have that kind of network, but it's very loose and very. I mean, I must say that it's not so much strong.
Right.
Because it should be strong. Otherwise, I mean, it is a kind of politics to I mean against the using external heavy resources.
Yes.
And the team or the approach of building system for the sustainable.
Yeah.
So in that case, we should have a kind of capacity to influence others, to work with other, including farmers and the policy people, and as you know, being a developing country, and if there is a strong network, national or international level network, or the regional network, and policy people will also, I mean, get some kind of additional efforts to get motivated.
Yes. Yes.
So that's why, I mean, that's a really interesting part.
Yeah.
And NPG is a network organization. It's basically for the advocacy, for the promotion of permaculture.
Yes.
In that case, we should have a network with the, and I mean, a strong network within the country, as well as the regional and the international level.
Yeah.
I mean, we are working on that, but it's still very, I mean, not so strong that we expect.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, Prem.
Yeah.
So, Prem, we could spend a lot of time chatting. We usually do. I've got one other question for you, and that is thinking about young people who are starting to get involved in sustainability, and particularly working with agriculture and natural resources. Do you have any thoughts or advice or suggestions for those young people? Not necessarily the young people in Nepal, but either people in Nepal or people more generally.
That's really interesting part, you see, and it is really important. I mean, everybody should think of that part, and fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, it is neglected. Although I mean, the young people who have, I mean, they are more, I mean, comparatively, they are more conscious on this part.
Yes.
And even they are talking about the system and sustainability and more economical viable thing. So that's really good part. But I mean, lagging part is providing skill,
Right.
providing opportunity, and through capacity building, through some kind of encouragement. That's really lacking part.
Right.
Not sufficient, I must say, not sufficient. So we need to think on that, and to make that happen. I mean, we have also trying to influence or the working with the agriculture university.
Right.
Agriculture and Forestry University, where young people are, I mean, studying there.
Yeah.
And we also been able to develop kind of course curriculum on organic agriculture in the agriculture university.
Right.
We work with them, and they really accepted, and I mean, they have I mean, formal course curriculum on eco agriculture system.
Right.
So we are working on that, but it is really not that much, I mean, effective or sufficient.
Right, right.
Yeah.
No, that's really interesting, and I know from previous conversations, both you and I are very practical, and and a lot of it's about giving people the real practical experience, isn't it? Not just what to read in a book or on Google. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, Prem. I wonder whether you have any final thoughts you'd like to share.
Actually, I mean, the idea and the approach, I mean, we need to think. I mean, it is not an individual way of thinking. it should be a kind of collective thinking. It should be not only from the farmer's perspective, it is also from the extension perspective, from the academic perspective, from the policy perspective.
Right.
Sorry. So we need to work on that. I mean, we need to even government, they have not been able to establish a separate entity or unit to look after the organic system. Sorry.
My turn.
Sorry.
I think it must be.
Yeah.
We went out on a ride in a jeep this morning, and
Yeah.
we've both been breathing in quite a lot of dust. So apologies for
Yeah,
that.
sorry. So we need to think on that.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's really interesting, Prem, and I thank you very much for. Thank you very much for having this chat with me, because I think it's great the work that you've done, and I know you've only touched the surface. We've been talking about the permaculture side primarily, but I know that you've been involved in lots of other aspects, but all to do with this sustainable use of natural resources. And keep up the good work, and let's hope we can find ways to get more young people involved in learning about this.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. It's really a good opportunity to share our experience, and then we are really hope to work with you and the people in the worldwide, so that it will give the benefit for the farmers and the country and the communities as well. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and great to see you again.
Yeah. Thank you.